And I call the member for Monash.
Deputy Speaker, thank you for the call, and thank you to Dr Freelander for bringing this motion before the Parliament, the Australian people. And it's good to hear from the member for Higgins for her expertise, obviously spread over the speech that she just delivered to the House. Deputy Speaker, the government must act to protect patient confidentiality and prevent genetic discrimination. Australia has a distinguished history of innovation in medicine. For example, the electronic pacemaker in 1926, the ultrasound in 1961, and the multi-channel cochlear implants in 1970s, which my father benefited from with his hearing. This innovative spirit is backed by our nation's global reputation for producing groundbreaking research. This reputation has been hard-won over long decades through dedicated scientific inquiry, rigour of research and, above all, adherence to ethical principles. In recent years, we have seen increasing research and accessibility to testing in the field of genetics. This field has the potential to help take significant steps to understand the nature of genetically linked diseases like cancer, heart disease and Alzheimer's. In addition, this field has the potential to help develop personalised prevention and treatment strategies which would be a game changer for thousands of people across the world. But, Deputy Speaker, imagine for a moment, imagine a patient who has had genetic testing done, whether it be for research or for personal preventative health measures, then being penalised, I say, by insurers for taking this step. Penalised by insurers through high premiums, lower insurance levels, or not being able to access insurance at all. That becomes a deterrent to being tested. In progress in the field of genetic medicine should not come at the cost of breaching the fundamental principles of privacy and confidentiality for individual patients. We must ask ourselves, are we truly committed to improving the health of this nation? And if so, are we truly committed to protecting the rights of our citizens to privacy, confidentiality and protection of their medical information, a fundamental human right? Having regard to that, Australia's international human rights obligation demands that we do not discriminate on the basis of genetics. Article 6 of the UN Declaration on the Human Genome and Human Rights requires a prohibition on discrimination based on genetic characteristics. Article 25 of the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons and Disabilities specifically refers to discrimination in the offer of life insurance. Meanwhile, Australia's Disability Discrimination Act 1962 prohibits discrimination based on genetic status. However, there is an exemption for insurers if an underwriting decision is based on reasonable data. How is this fair? How does this protect the confidentiality and freedom from discrimination against everyday Australians? Australia is lagging behind our Commonwealth partners in numerous countries around the globe. Both Canada and the UK protected the genetic information of individuals more than we do and have taken significant steps to prohibit the use of genetic test results in life, income protection and critical illness insurance. A review of countries by Geneva Association showed that 13 of the 20 listed countries protected the disclosure of genetic results to insurers in any circumstances. Australia is not part of that group. Who would have thought in 2023 that Australia would lag behind the world on the protection of confidential patient information and prevention of genetic discrimination? This nation needs to, first and foremost, protect the privacy of Australians, eliminate genetic discrimination, give people confidence to be tested so that they can participate in research and remove the barrier to Australia providing targeted health measures and in future planning. The first action must be to remove the exemption of insurers in the Disability Discrimination Act. Regardless, our Commonwealth, state and territory governments must work towards protecting the confidential genetic information and prohibiting genetic discrimination of the Australian people. And I cannot make the case more clearly than I have totally on behalf of the people of Australia today. Big business may not like this, but I'm still here about this nation's people.